Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in the lab, doing what I do for you. I'm in the book to hit us up with third parable. So get ready for this lesson. It's gonna be good. It's all about controlling the mind. Hello, let's go. Right isn't 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is, to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I get through. Yeah, that's what I do. The question is rhetorical. If you had an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. Let's go. A person who knows not, and knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not, and knows that they know not, is simple. But you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right thinkers? Know thyself and to my eye be true. We in the third parable, and this is all about the mind control. Third parable has important implications for all spiritual followers. Het Hadoop has now turned away from her pit of negativity, the dull state of mind they call it, but she is not free from the delusions of ignorance, which is rooted where deep within her heart. She haven't changed the heart yet. Watch this. She still remains in the form of wildcat, the lioness, okay? And even though she's had certain glimpses of the divine glory of her higher self, she went memory lane and remembered, okay? But she still is partially entangled with her lower self. She haven't given that lionessness. She haven't changed that part about her yet, so she's still there. And what this is the predicament of many people who are ignorant of themselves. They go through the same procedure over and over. Watch this. And they have that dream state that you go into. I keep telling you, when you go to sleep, you're practicing for death. But when you go into that deep sleep, that's you reaching that level where you go if you pass the judgment day. So you wake up feeling so refreshed. Imagine that being forever. Moving on. But that's the idea. When you get it, when you go to sleep. So she had an inkling of it, of her spiritual essence. But they are still caught up in her egoism. She ain't give up the lioness aspect. She ain't give up the wildcat. That's like me still in the streets saying, I ain't know, but I'm still, no. It don't work that way. Watch this. Which still remains in the form of ignorance. If you're not living it, don't try to teach it or preach it, please. Why? It makes you look real bad. That's all caused on you. Why? If you do what you practice, what you preach, you're going to look bad. Simple. Transparency. But when you fulfilling your lower desires, and that's wrong thinking. Right there. I didn't write it. It's in the book. They understand the difference in right thinking and wrong thinking. Watch this. It must be cleansed from your minds, first of all. And this state is known as, you ready? The agitation of the mind. Why? It's always concerned with this, that, the third. It ain't never focused on nothing that it should be or what it needs to be. You control that. That's your job. That's my goal. This lesson to get you to be able to do just that. Watch this, mind control. But it is characterized by impure, wrong thoughts, desires, and feelings that's based on ignorance of your higher self, the real reality, and on an indulgence of what? Your egoistic feelings, selfishness, and your individuality of the I, me concept. You only out for yourself. And when your mind is agitated like that, it cannot understand and feel clearly. I tell anybody, when you get excited, or good or bad, the heart beats, the body changes, everything vibration changes. Why? The heart senses fear. If you can keep your heart beat down, your pulse down, stay cool and calm, and maintain your thought process, your heart will, some people tap to calm it down. All you gotta do is breathe. Now the brain can do what it does. It's like clearing the ocean, like clearing the pond. Why? So it can work. You can't see the bottom of the pond if it's all agitated. That's the concept of the mind. And they tell you, when you're doing a whole bunch of other stuff, you ain't clear. But the thoughts and the feelings are what? They're tainted with what? The illusions and your desires. If this below the waist is what you're trying to please, you ain't living right. And this is why, again, when strong emotions that you can't control, and if those urges is bad, what you gonna do? You're gonna take control of them, your mind, and your mind will not be able to reason objectively. So you're not gonna make good decisions, letting that thing decide what to do when it get hard. It wanna do what it do. Get the concept? This the one that got to take control and think, nah, my man, whoa. Simple. That's control. It starts here. Likewise, and when the people are deeply involved, what's this? In all their worldly activities, they got everything going on, and with the egoistic intent, what? To do me, I'm doing me, okay? People celebrate birthday for a whole month. You get one day. Why you got to take the whole month? I'm doing me. Moving on. And that's their choice. I'm just saying, we know the kind of people, but they'll never say that. Okay, they are actually what? Moving away from what we call self-discovery. You can't discover yourself being egoistic. And it only intensifies what? The illusions, and it gives you more distractions of worldly desires of the mind. All you want is what? More. No matter what you get, you want more. That's how society is generated. What? Capitalistic. We don't live in a society of spiritual respect. No, all morals down the drain, just get that money. By any means necessary, shake your butt, steal, sell drugs, whatever, but get the money. That's what your president doing. He hustling in the White House. Moving on. Yeah, I got a con man in the White House. Unbelievable. But it's all about the mindset. But it is like going, what's this? It's like going to the beach or going to the gym and staying in the parking lot, not going in, not doing no work, but just, I went to the gym. Okay, did you work out? If you're studying and you doing something, you should benefit from that. Going to the gym and not working out, the same concept, okay? Learning something and not using it. What you getting it for? But it's like surface understanding. That's the exoteric concept. And you only experience that when you don't put the work in, okay? But when you have equanimity in your thought process, meaning you got two hemispheres, brain, left and right, and one side think one way, this side think that way. Maya tells you what? Harmonize and put them together, become one. Every group, that phrase right there, I just put it some kind of concept. And everybody's practicing the same thing, saying different ways, but the same thing. I ain't no different. I just put it the way I hope you can understand it. Let's go. But my thing is, I live what I teach. Moving on. That's all I can say. And watch this. They may, working to promote, okay, again, equanimity in your thought process when the spiritual reality in all areas of your life. I don't not Maya. I think Maya all the time. What? Keep balancing my decision making. Knowing good from bad, right from wrong, and make a decision based on that. If you're ignorant of that, your decision making ain't gonna be too good. Watch this. And working to promote harmony in the brain brings on what? Peace, and live by truth, what they call makaru, speaking from the heart, honest in your life. When daily, you practice this. You practice this, and what? You get better. You only get better if you practice. God-given talent is good, but you got to cultivate it. Knowledge only works if you use it. Getting it don't mean it's good to get, but if you ain't implementing it, what's the purpose of getting it? So watch this. They are moving closer toward self-discovery when you start doing the right thing. When you change the concept of what you think and how you thinking and start producing right thinking, they may now have an active life. Do what you do. Just incorporate the things that you learn in your life and still have the experience of inner peace. You can't touch my joy. You can't steal it. You can't. I'm getting better at not getting upset, not let somebody get me, rattle my cage, pull my car, whatever. But I'm getting better at staying where I need to be in peaceful concept. And when you have inner peace and the divine presence that you comfortable with, that's the idea. That's right there in philosophy. And wrapping it up, the control of the mind and the goal of right thinking philosophy is to calm the movements of one's mind. How? If the mind is calm, now a person can now discover their inner self, aka their soul or their higher self, God. So the process means these things. 4 things. I'm about to break it down again as we go. I got time. The 4 things you need to process for controlling the mind is right thoughts, right feelings, leads to right actions, and having the right desire to do the right thing. Those are all things that you control. All these things that you directly control. And when you get better at these things, your whole mindset will change. So let's talk about quickly. Oh, I'm good. I got another lesson. That was the 3rd parable. But it's important to learn how to control the mind. So I'm going to this page right here. Here, a little breakdown of meditation. You got 2 forms, okay? This should be quick. I'm going to take it out of this whole page, and hopefully you have a better understanding of how to control your mind with right thinking. It's important. There are 2 main forms of meditative practice. The 2-fold method in controlling one's mind, right here. You got formal meditation. That means you get in posture. You get a stationary place, you do your personal chants, you get your breathing right, you get concentration and focus, and you spend time doing that. That's on your time. That's formal. Informal meditative, and this is my favorite. Why? Because at any given time, I can go right into this thing. It's funny. Well, that's the mind control. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Oh, I can't do that. I couldn't either 10 years ago. Moving on. But informal meditation. We had a guy called Imhotep, the genius, the first multi-genius. He was good. He mastered whatever he did, okay? That's being the best you can be. You don't get no better than that. And he found what they call peacefulness in what? Doing what he do. If your job is what you love and the job you train for that you went to school, you love that. So it ain't hard work, okay? When you somewhere and you ain't happy, you got to do, that's work. Difference. And when you have righteousness, just wanting to do what's right. I practice that now. Why? Because I'm the beneficiary of doing what's right in his eyes. That's being obedient. That's all. Y'all call it what you want. I give a name for what I do. You call it what you want. Again, and this is important. A lot of people think I don't feel no, understand this. I'm human. I'm like everybody. I just know how to control my feelings, my emotions with detachment. Detachment means don't get involved. Just look at the situation for what it is and deal with it from that aspect. I ain't got to get emotional. I ain't got to get involved. So I can deal with it. When the judges on the bench, they ain't emotionally involved. They detach from all that nonsense. Just give me the facts. And I can judge it from that. That's the way I live my life. Oh, you don't care about nobody. You have no feelings. Spare me. The next one is dispassion. I don't care. Not meaning I don't, but care mean I'm not involved. I don't got no nickel in that dime. So my dispassion is, it ain't emotional to me. I ain't got a nickel in that dime, so I don't feel one way or another. So it's easy for me to make an observation and a decision based on my observation, not how I feel. That's only one side of the brain. The other side got balanced out. So you got to understand Mayat, that's what she represents in your thought process. Moderation. Right there. A lot of us, when it's good, we're going to do what? More. Moderation is what? Balance. Everything I do, I try to keep it moderate. Why? The balance. Too much good ain't good either. You don't want a whole lot of bad, but you got to moderate. And that's called balance in all your action. That's my philosophy. Keeping the balance in your thought process, and your actions will be straight on point. Not this way, not that way. Nope, straight down the middle. Okay? I was getting a Michael Kaya joke, but I ain't got time for that. But the idea is meditation is the identification with one's mind and how to control its movements. You control what go on up here. I see people say, well, stuff just pop up in my mind. I gotta let that go. Moving on. But this is the methods of controlling one's mind. It's an integral concept of yoga, connecting two concepts, putting together so they can work. Two opposites come together. That's harmony. Watch this. Now, through understanding brings what? Wisdom. What you understand, you can manifest. And when you experience, it gives you wisdom. For somebody to tell you something they haven't experienced, it's kind of hard for me to digest, but it can be done, but I prefer to get somebody who knows. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And next one, you can control your mind through what? Resolving your emotions. Right there. Controlling. Once you can control your anger, your emotions, your desires, your wants, all the things that we just take for granted. Oh, I didn't squeeze all that stuff out. Why? I have no use for none of those things. That's why. And a lot of people think they do. That's the problem. That's wrong thinking. When you realize what you need, you'll be just fine. Phrase is, if you get the people what they want when they want it, they'll want to win all the time. But if you get the people what they need when they need it, their needs will be just like yours and mine. I'm only giving you what you need, not what you want. That's my job. Moving on. And it's all about controlling one's emotion. You can't sway me one way or another. Juicing me up, boosting me up, suit me up, ain't gonna change me. Discrediting me, trying to rip me, ain't gonna change me. You get the point? Moving on. I'm positioned, I'm grounded. Now, through what? Through right thinking leads what? Right actions. That leads us right back to who? Mayat philosophy. You can practice that. I made it a lifestyle. Okay? Now, the next one is through what? Daily meditation. That changed my life. Why? Man, I don't harbor I learned how to flush stuff that non-usable information. Don't carry it. Don't store it. Why? It's no use. A lot of us carry they call baggage, mental baggage, emotional baggage, whatever you want. But we harbor thoughts, bad feelings, bad reaction, memory of stuff that don't do you no good, but what? Bring you down, weigh you down, lighten your load, get rid of that stuff, flush it out. That's the concept of the computer. I'm learning that because I got a bunch of stuff taped. I got to get rid of them. I just delete them and move on. But that's how the mind works. The computer works like the mind. Ain't nothing but your mind. Somebody's understanding, and they do a good job. But meditation is how you what? Transcend to the next level. Commune with your higher self. If you're not meditating, all you want to do is ask God, you want to pray and pray and pray. That ain't doing nothing. Sit down, spend some time, either formal meditating or informal. I do informal. Why? Because I can keep God conscious all day. I'm just doing the right thing. But I know God is watching. That's why I wear the eye, signification. The all-seeing eye is the one that's in the sky. But the third eye is the one that's in you. Open that one and see yourself. Know thyself. Again, all these methods will lead to what? Self-control of one's what? Life force energy, a.k.a. your serpent power. When you're living right, that's what activates the kundalini in you. Another lesson I gave you a bunch of that. But now, wrapping it up with, perfect. Now, these are essential, what I call mental disciplines and goals for all right thinkers. You need to understand these. First one, again, dispassion. Family member, mother, father, sister, brother, don't care. Again, this is a philosophy. I follow the philosophy. Don't care who it is. It's the same concept. Okay? If you take yourself out of the situation, but the doctors can't operate on family members. Why? Because they're passionate. They can't be dispassionate. Why? They get caught up because the emotion. This is my mother. Anubis, The embalmer, he embalmed his father. If I had to, I'd do whatever I need to do. There's no problem with that. Moving on. That's a mindset. Again, you have to be able to separate yourself from that. The next one, again, is detachment. The mind has to know how to separate from what is and what ain't. That's Anubis. That's discernment. But we call it detachment. Same concept. Understand it. I'm just observing. I'm just going to deal with what I see. You can't sway me. You can't. No, I'm just going to deal with what it is. That's all. That's detachment. Now the next one. I like this one. Intellectual understanding. That leads to faith. Faith. I thought, no. Intellectual faith, meaning grounded in your understanding, your belief. It's good to have faith. That's what faith is based on. What? Your understanding of what you want will come true. You pray. That's a sign of faith. But when that prayer is answered, it's for a reason. Again, these are all mind control concepts that you have to be aware of for yourself. Now, this is my favorite. Intuitional understanding. They call that Akashic records. When you reach a level of understanding, you're going to get information that you didn't read, you didn't experience for yourself, but you have knowledge of it. That's intuitional understanding. That's experience from the mind, from what previous things that's already happened in the spirit. Been around that long. That's why. But these are all the things, again, that deal with the mind. And you have serenity. This is the favorite. All women love this one. Why? Because everybody wants serenity of the mind. Everybody wants inner peace. That's why. And for some reason, we think it's a woman thing. I'm a man. I want inner peace. So it ain't a woman thing. It's fair game. But they got a little poem that say about give me them, or whatever they say, but the serenity, the serenity, whatever. I don't know this thing, this phrase in the Bible, but that's a good thing. I know women like to quote it. Last one, my favorite. You got to have what? Strong will. What's that? Spiritual strength. If your faith is in the right place, that's power. Okay? Why? If you with God and you try to come between me and God, don't do that. That's spiritual strength. My strength comes from my spiritual belief and understanding, enlightenment of who I am, God. If you try to disturb that, don't. We all built for the same reason. Everybody get a little more animated about it, but your strength comes from within, not without. That's why in the knowledge of self, with the third eye and understanding the lessons I'm giving you and putting them into use, you have your own understanding. That's, again, wisdom. Experience for yourself gives you the wisdom. That's what experience is all about. And that's what life is all about. Experience it. Enjoy it. Have fun. But if you're ignorant, it ain't going to be much fun. With self-enlightenment, knowledge of self, life will be fun. Trust me. That's the lesson. But we do good. Okay, right thing, because I appreciate you tuning in at the lesson. This one, I hope you got a better understanding of how to use this thing on your shoulders. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all let it be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I never know that my right thinkers who learn how to think right will pass away. I'll be right back.